What's up, y'all? We back.
What's going on?
We back. My name's April. You know who this is.
I'm Jonathan.
And this is What the Marriage. So look, man, we gotta apologize to y'all. We've been gone for a minute. I mean, it's just been 2 weeks, but 2 weeks is a long time when you looking for somebody.
Yeah.
And we heard y'all was looking for us. So we back. We back. But look. You wanna tell them?
Yeah, let me tell him.
All right, you tell them.
We got a new set, guys. Yeah.
And look, but wait, it's not just a new set. I mean, y'all can see it's a new set, but guess what?
What?
We got us a place, y'all, a whole space.
Absolutely.
We got us a facility. We got Casting Pearls Entertainment is officially in its own production studio.
Yes, sir.
If I had hand claps, I would like clap so y'all can just clap at home for us if you
I can
want.
insert something though. And edit.
Oh yeah, because we do that. He can insert someone's on the back end.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all, God has been moving and shaking. And it's only March, but he's been showing up and showing out. And we got us a production studio.
Yeah.
And look, I think we should give away a walkthrough of our studio. A tour. Not just yet, because we still working on some things. We still painting and doing some other things. But look, we absolutely gonna invite somebody or some of y'all in to see our fantastic facility.
Wait. We just gonna invite them? That's all we're gonna do is invite them? So they gonna come around and look like the candy store? Like, hey, this is
No,
nice.
you know what? Nah.
Window shop?
Nah. You know what?
What you gonna do?
I think we could put together a giveaway that's not just coming to see the studio, but maybe, just maybe, we might give away some stuff in the studio.
Like what?
I don't know. Maybe we could give away a 3 podcast session for a lucky person that wants to produce their own.
And just test it out to see if they want to do this podcasting thing too.
Maybe.
Like they can change their own background lights and stuff like that and pick their own color and they can have their own mugs.
Yep.
Oh, that's dope.
That's going to be a mega giveaway, guys.
That's
but look,
dope.
stay tuned. We ain't
That's
quite ready
dope.
for that one yet. But
That's
stay
what's up.
tuned.
That's what's up.
All right, for real, though. Look, let's get into this, though. Oh, wait. You know what? Hold on a second. We ain't even tell them why we got a space.
Oh, yeah.
Did y'all know where we was at before we got a space?
Nah. But it was cold. Want me to tell?
You could tell them.
We was in the garage.
The garage.
Guys, it was so cold.
Dude, and it snowed like, what, 2 days ago?
Yeah, it snowed. Yeah. It was
cold,
cold snow.
cold, man.
It was like, man, we can't keep doing this.
Man.
That little space heater? Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't the movement.
It wasn't the movement. It was cold out there. And look, we made it work though. So
Yeah.
look, if you got a dream and you got something that you working on and you trying to just do the thing, it don't matter where you're at. Just go and step out on faith and do it. And we said, you know what? We putting this podcast out and we did it. And look, God was like, all right, y'all been faithful. Go on and take this building too. So look,
yeah.
no matter what it is, just keep pushing through. But yeah, we was in our
Absolutely.
garage before, so we made it work. But now look, we about to get into some other stuff. But
Working it out.
yeah, for real. But let's get into this week's topic.
Okay.
We're talking about doubt.
Doubt.
So I read this article, right? And it started off with, are doubts normal in a relationship?
Oh, completely.
And I was like, this is corny. And then I said, let me just read this. And people legit have serious concerns when they get into a relationship if this is the right thing to do. And once they in the relationship, they're like, is my relationship good or not? Does it match up to everybody else's relationship? Do we have enough money? Is our house big enough? Do we have enough cars? Do we have enough kids? Nah, I don't want kids. Like,
Do they got enough?
They got enough kids, right?
Okay.
And then some people are like, we got too many kids. So when you start talking about doubts, you be like, that's a serious thing because doubts will literally end your marriage real quick.
Right. And look, it'll fracture it before it ends it. So you get that little hairline fracture, you be like, it start to hurt. So you'll find signs. You'll see signs that when that doubt creeps in, it's an ugly thing.
Yeah. You know what? And one thing that I knew about our relationship was that early on, I know that I played a large part in creating doubts for you and vice versa. So I'm gonna give y'all an example. So, finances is huge. We talk about finances, we talk about being broke, but finances was so huge for us. And one thing that I used to do was, because I felt like he wasn't managing the money right, I would stash extra money places. So he wouldn't even know we had money. He'd be like, well, how much we got here? And I'd be like, oh, we got such and such here. But really we had all this other money over here because I was saving it. I was creating secret accounts. Now you might ask, well, why was you doing that? And I'm going to tell you. So this amazing, hot, sexy, fine man of mine was a I gotta say that differently. He was a natural born giver. And
still is day one.
He is day one.
Out the womb.
And I'm a giver too. But let me tell you, he was like 1,000,000 times above me early in our marriage. And the way that he grew up, family was first. And if his family needed something, didn't matter if he took from something we needed, he would give it to them. So his brother might need money, and didn't matter if we had to pay rent that week, didn't matter if we had to pay the light bill, didn't matter how much food we had. He was like, nah, my brother needed it, so I'm gonna give it to him. And I'm like, dude, how are you just taking money away from necessities that we need, like, to survive? He's like, no, he's gonna pay it back.
So let me hop in here right here. Remember, one of the number one needs of a woman is security, right?
Yep.
So I didn't know that at this time. So whatever I'm giving away to whoever I'm giving away, I'm taking away from that thing that she absolutely needs.
Yeah.
So, all right, carry on, go.
But yeah, and then so that would happen. So the first time it happened, I'm like, all right, I'm mad, I'm huffing, I'm puffing, I'm like, and then he's like, no, they're gonna give it back. Usually it's like, oh no, I'm gonna give it back on Friday when I get paid. Friday would come around and I'm waiting. It's getting later and later. Then Saturday rolled around. I'm like, yo, where it at? And then this happened over and over and over again. So then it started to build this animosity in me. Like, dude, you just keep giving away our needs. So that's why I started stashing away money and creating secret accounts and doing secretive things with money. And ladies, let me tell you something. The reason why I did it was in an effort to try to control him and to control what he was doing, control his thinking. And like, oh, let me control the situation.
That's good.
So that's why I did it.
That's good.
But that is not how you operate, because stashing money and hiding money and lying about money, you might as well just line that up with cheating, because that deception right there is how it feels.
And speaking of feelings, I felt disrespected at the time too, because even though I wasn't doing the things that I needed to do as a man, and I was giving our funds away, and I was playing with our four walls. And I still needed that respect factor. Like, you trust me, even though I'm messing up, you still trust me, right? Like she was like, nah, I don't trust you because you keep messing up with the money. That doesn't mean you go start stashing and hiding.
Right.
So that would create it. Once that doubt was created from my perspective, I'm like, now I think she always stashing the money.
Yep.
Wait, let me check her right now. Let me guess. Freaking money on.
No, for real. But so think about that. So now, not only did I disrespect him by creating these separate accounts and these secret accounts and stashing money, but now he don't trust me.
Wait, let me check you again.
You better stop.
Wait, let me check you after the podcast. Wait.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, keep going.
No, but yeah, so that's legit how that started. So because I had doubts that he was going to do the right thing with money, it ultimately, now I created doubts with him, because he's like, well, she lying, she stashing money, she ain't being honest. So you directly impact the way your spouse views you. And if your spouse has doubts or not. Now, I'm not saying in all cases, but in this scenario, I directly had a hand in his doubt toward me and vice versa. So now we just like, all right, well, you ain't gonna do the right thing with money. I'm doubting you all up and down because you don't know how to manage money. And now he's looking at me like, well, I doubt you because you just keep creating and stashing money and creating accounts and doing whatever you want. So you a liar.
So let me hop in. So now let's talk about the comparison killers. Because after I was doing wrong with money, I was doing wrong with money. And then in turn, she did what she did with money. So now here comes the comparisons. Oh, he lending out money? He lending out money and then y'all need that money? Her husband ain't doing that or her man ain't doing that. So now I'm being compared to dude in them. And when dude in them is like, oh yeah. So I'm looking real bad.
Yeah.
For fellas, what that does is it turns into anger. And you're like, oh, you don't trust me, you don't do this, you don't do this. So it's the compound effect. What you think about comparisons?
So yeah, no, and what he said was 100,000,000% accurate because I tried to justify my actions. I tried to justify why I did it. And I'd get to my girls or I'd get to my cousins or whoever I was talking to, be like, yeah, well, I had to do this because he wasn't doing the right thing with money. And oh yeah, I did the same thing with my man because he was just getting crazy. So then we had this man bashing fest of, oh, we got to just train him. We just got to teach him. We got to do what we got to do, ladies. And I'm like, yeah. So it started to become this thing where I'm now comparing him against other women's relationships and I'm getting validated because I hear other women are doing this too. But at the end of the day, I was single-handedly destroying the way my husband viewed me, the trust that he had in me. And then I had to rebuild all of that. I had to rebuild all of it. Because it took a long time for him to stop believing that I was stashing money or that I had secret accounts. So what did I have to do? I had to get rid of my pride. Because even after, a couple years after, and I stopped doing it, because we had a major blow up and I stopped doing that, then I was like, well, fine. These are all the accounts I have. That didn't solve the problem. Well, fine. These are all the logins I have. You could log in and see what we have. That didn't solve the problem because the trust was already broken. So now the only way that you rebuild trust is, one, the number one thing is time. If you destroyed something and you gave your spouse any reason not to trust you, now you just have to wait and you just got to allow time to pass. You can't just be like, well, I apologize and now I'm coming clean. It doesn't work that way. Because once the damage is done, now you got to go and rebuild. And rebuilding can take a week, 2 weeks, 2 years, 15 years, depends on how bad it is. But that's the whole point. So I started to try to make amends and do the right thing by giving him access to all the accounts, giving him logins, and making sure that he always knew where funds was going. But it took some time before he was like, all right, I'm gonna stop tripping. Let me give her the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and that it's funny that you said that because it's like you have to think in, I heard it said like this, you have to think in percentages and not in absolutes. You can't think in absolutes. So I can't totally just absolutely trust her again when it comes to money. It's going to take some time. So anytime she say, well, we got this amount, one, I verify it. Okay, we do have this. Now, here comes the trust. I can't absolutely trust her yet, but I could be like, I trust her about 35%. And I go with that. I'm a little skeptical. I'm still looking at her a little bit like, all right then. But that percentage goes up, guys. It goes up year by year, day by day, to where you can start to really get back to where you guys were, almost like a fresh start.
I had to think back to this after the fact, and I started practicing this, especially with him, because I'm like, well, why did he do that in the first place? One, Obvious reasons. We're young. We don't know how to manage money. We barely know how to be married. We're still kids. So all of those things were true. But the reason why he was like, I'm going to give to my family because they need it was directly related to all of the past trauma that he dealt with as a kid growing up. When you grow up without nothing and you grow up with these siblings and you're like, well, we didn't have nothing. So everything we had, we shared. And if one of us had, we all had. If none of us had, then none of us had. So it was a matter of him still functioning in that mindset. Even though we were married, he was like, nah, if my family need, I'm going to give it to him. And you know how the Bible says, a man leaves his family and cleaves to his wife. That didn't happen immediately. That break from how I operated in my family didn't happen until, a couple years in, where it's like, all right, I'm starting to understand what it means to be a husband and means to like function in a family with my wife and not function in a family with all my siblings and my wife. It's how do I function separated from my family, and now it's just me and my wife, or me and my wife and my kids.
Oh, that's good. You know what else? That doubt or that dysfunction that we had early on, that doesn't mean you give up. That don't mean you give up.
Right.
You're not done. It's like, okay, this is what you're working through. Sometimes, guys, we just give up too quick.
Yeah.
Too quick.
Yeah.
Like it's not working out for me, or I'm done. No, you ain't done. Now here come to work.
Yeah.
If anybody tell you marriage is easy, it's not.
It's
not. It's not.
Marriage is hard, and it's not fun, and it sucks.
It does.
And
it does.
I know some of y'all like, for real? How you talking about marriage like that? Is because if you have a real view perspective of what it is, then you can have a great marriage.
You're right. And you can have fun.
Right.
So they were saying when NFL players retire, 50% of them I think it's more like 80% of them get divorced.
80%, yo.
Because off season is all season, all year.
Oh yeah.
NFL players are gone. Excuse me. NFL players are gone for like 6 months out of the year, 7 months out of the year, 8 months. You ain't training. You ain't doing. So you're gone away from. So when I got to look at your face, and I got to call out the GOAT, Big Tom Brady, it's like,
yeah.
I'm not saying that's the case, but if it could happen to somebody like him, it wasn't a money thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a money thing.
Yeah.
So somewhere doubt crept in about this. And real talk, this is we can use him as an example. And now to all my Tom Brady fans, this ain't nothing. See, I'm not trying to speak anything bad about him. Mm-hmm. Everybody know I'm a Steelers fan though. But anyway, look, real talk. Brady was like this. He said, I retire. Nah, I was just playing. Nah, I'm coming back. Right after that, all this drama started happening.
Yep.
So what happened? That was doubt, and that was trust that was broken.
Yep.
They probably was talking about that for I don't know how long.
Oh,
now
yeah.
we're just using this. It wasn't a money issue with them.
Yeah.
But that meant something. She really looked forward to that. Now, should they have worked through that? Hey, I ain't in a relationship or anything like that. But that's just a sidebar.
That's
about
good
how,
though. Nah, that's good because we talked earlier about how you can create doubt for your spouse, not even meaning to.
Yep.
So with that scenario you just gave, if me and you was talking about something and I'm like, yeah, man, he's retiring. We about to get in together. Yeah. We about to do this thing. We about to just
life
live
is good.
life. Life is good. He ain't going to be gone. He ain't going to be on the road.
Uh-huh.
Cool. And then all of a sudden he's like, you know what? No, I changed my mind. My fans still need me. And she probably was like, your wife needs you. Your family needs you. And now.
Real.
Now it's like, I just doubted everything we talked about. So now.
That fracture was big.
It's like, I got a decision to make. Exactly. So yeah, and it's spot on though. Exactly what you said. How often does that happen?
That's good. Well, too, it's different. Sometimes it's just tough times. Yeah. How are you going to weather the storm? Yeah. So I think that's another thing that look at the storm before it's coming. Talk about these things. That's what we're having.
Hey, remember when I got laid off? Not once, but like twice.
Yes.
I got laid off twice. So look.
Like here.
Here.
In California.
Here. So the first time, right, we moved cross country with our 3 kids. We moved into an Airbnb, right? And we're just like, nah, we're gonna tell this whole story later. But we get into an Airbnb. We had 30 days to find a house. We didn't have no savings. We was just like, all right, we had a little bit, but not anything to just be like, we're good. Right.
We made it work though.
We touched down, right? And I'm like, oh, it's good. I get a call literally like 2 days later and was like, hey, yeah, April, remember how we said you could work from home remotely in California? Yeah. Leadership said they changed their mind on that, and we're gonna have to lay you off. So you got until this date. And I'm like, excuse me?
Doubt.
You want to talk about doubt on how we gonna make it?
Doubt.
So we hear y'all. But no, the second time I got laid off, we moved to Long Beach because I'm like, oh, I want to be closer to the studios. I really want to make sure that I can get to the studios and focus on my acting. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. That's why we're here. Let's do it. We moved there. My job was literally right around the corner.
Literally.
And I got laid off like a week after we moved, y'all. And I'm like, and later on, God was like, because I ain't tell y'all to move.
Are you sensing a trend here?
I ain't tell y'all to move. So then, of course, we moved back to Corona. But during the time that I was laid off, like he was saying, emotions fluctuate just up and down. So he had a job, he was working, but it wasn't enough for us to just sustain life. You know, California's expensive as ever.
Mad expensive. Hey, look. If y'all see me on the 91, because, hey, look, put something in my little With the Marriage cup and be like, hey, I heard y'all got a building. I just want to help.
You know, so we might be,
it's mad expensive.
But it's true, right? So my emotions is fluctuating, and I got mad doubt, right? And it's not even doubt because of him. It's doubt because of the circumstance.
Yep.
How are we going to make it? Is he making enough money? Like, am I going to find another job? So all of my emotions, because of my doubt and my insecurities, I'm putting it all on him.
Yep, exactly.
So then meanwhile, I'm increasing his stress level. I'm increasing all the doubts he has, instead of being like, all right, look, y'all, roll it back. Y'all in this together. We're a team.
Yeah, absolutely.
So having compassion for each other during times when you got like mad stress, or y'all got times where you're just on hard times. It's just, but it's those moments. There's so many different scenarios you could flip it and spin it of what creates doubts. And you got to look at it from the perspective of your marriage in and of itself is not what is creating the doubt. It's all the circumstances surrounding you that are impacting your marriage, which now creating the doubt.
I don't want to spend another second or another minute not giving you guys a good example of how to combat the doubt. So how do we deal with the layoff?
Mm-hmm.
How do we deal with it?
Oh,
it's our faith in God.
Yeah.
God will supply all of our needs.
All of them.
When you're laid off, there was nothing that she could do. I was working, but it wasn't that much money.
No.
It just wasn't. It wasn't that much money. So we made it work. But more importantly, we knew God would supply all our needs. So let's get into it. When you doubt, when you're doubt, and when that doubt comes in, if you have that relationship with God, that's what adversity does. Adversity grows you. It makes you stronger. So I want to encourage anybody that is experiencing one, first that layoff.
Oh, yeah.
That layoff. You can make it. Is your sex life going to hurt a little bit?
Yep.
Is your parenting going to hurt?
Yep.
Because you're dealing with all kind of stress.
Right.
Especially when it comes to livelihood. I want to make something very clear. Always pray for your spouse.
Yeah. 100%.
Especially in times of doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't just think that you're going to figure it out. Pray for her.
Yeah.
Women, pray for your husbands.
Yep.
This is morning, and at night. Not just in hard times or when you're experiencing doubt, but every day. Mm-hmm. Because this is what our podcast is about. It's really, this is what the marriage. When that season came, we could have folded. And I could have been like, well, I could have went back to you sure you ain't stashing no money then?
Right.
You ain't got no money stashed? Nope. We don't reheat sins for breakfast.
No, you got to
around
say
here.
that again.
We don't reheat sins for breakfast around here.
And just so y'all are clear what that means, if you forgave your spouse, then it's done. You got to look at it how God looks at it. When you go to God and you repent and you ask for forgiveness for something you've done, then it's done. It's squashed. It's thrown in the sea. It's done. Now, unfortunately for us, we still remember.
Absolutely.
And what happens when we remember is we like to be like, what did you do? Let me go ahead and throw that in the microwave. No, you don't get to throw somebody's sins in the microwave to reheat them.
Nope.
If you forgave your spouse and you truly forgave them, then it's done.
Preach.
So now, when something happens, don't go back to that old thing.
Nah.
Don't go back to that and start to create and bring up that old doubt you had.
And don't let doubt do that to you.
Oh, yeah, and it will. It will. Doubt will have you. If he out too late and I'm like, oh, you out. Where you at?
It's doubt.
That's doubt. Because then that means you're pulling up something that you had a memory of. If y'all sex life ain't good and you ain't been getting none for the past 2-3 weeks,
Real.
oh, that must mean you don't love me. How you doubting I don't love you? I've been working 64-hour weeks and I'm tired, and now all of a sudden I don't love you because we're not physical enough. Or I forgot, I don't know, to wash your clothes last week, and now all of a sudden I don't love you because I forgot.
You're right.
So all these life
True.
scenarios will create doubts that
Absolutely.
don't even exist, like that are not even justified doubts. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah, man, that's good. Wow. That's really
But
good. No
like
doubt.
you were saying, it's how can you combat that? One is praying
Absolutely.
for each other, and asking God, remove any doubt that I have, because you got to know that you know. I know that my husband loves me. I know that without a shadow of a doubt.
I know that God loves me.
And I know that God loves me.
And he will provide all my needs. If you're talking about money,
Yep.
he'll provide all my needs in every area of life.
Every situation.
So I can know that I got the ultimate security system.
Absolutely.
Ultimate. So I think just learning to trust in that doubt.
Yep.
Because doubt will bring fear.
Right.
It will.
Yeah.
It'll bring fear.
Absolutely. And then it becomes a vicious cycle.
Exactly.
So now you're doubting and you're fearing. And then now you don't have trust for your spouse. And then you're going in this
Absolutely.
whirlwind.
So if you don't get nothing,
Yep.
out this pod right here, understanding how to combat doubt when it comes,
Yep.
and how to don't let it fracture. Don't let it fracture your marriage because you doubt a little bit and you're like,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's normal.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's the thing.
It's normal.
Doubt is absolutely normal. And doubt is actually healthy. Because
Yeah.
what does it do? All doubt is, at the very purest form, all doubt is unresolved questions you don't have answers to.
Yep.
They're concerns. So when you get with your spouse and you're like, I'm having an issue with X, Y, and Z. I'm not comfortable with X, Y, and Z. It opens a line of communication. And we always talk about intimacy requires consistency. So doubts are perfectly normal, and they can actually help build your intimacy level with your spouse. But you got to communicate. You can't just sit on those doubts and be like, nah, he's doing this or she's doing that. Or no, it's because you're not communicating.
Communicating is great. But don't just communicate with your spouse. Communicate with your Heavenly Father also.
You better say it.
Cast your cares. All of them, especially your doubt.
Yep.
Especially
So
the
look, at the end of the day, grow through your junk.
Absolutely.
If you know
Absolutely.
that you are somebody that's constantly doubting, number one, you gotta, like we said, you gotta take it to God. Because if you're constantly doubting, then that's a you problem.
Right.
That starts with you.
Right.
That starts with you. And then after that, anything else, work with your spouse on it.
Let them in it. Let
them in your junk.
Let them in, man.
So
Gotta let them in.
look, we hope y'all got something out of this today.
Yeah, we back.
We back.
Back.
We are
man,
back.
Man, it's glad to see y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
We love y'all, and
Appreciate you.
we thank y'all for rocking with us. But look, now that we in our space, there's no more excuses, y'all. We know you expect to see us on Thursdays, and we're gonna make sure, no matter what, we're gonna be here for y'all.
Yup.
So, yeah.
Cool.
That's it.
Cool.
We
That's it.
appreciate ya.
Appreciate you.
And we will see y'all next week. You know what time it is.
Yeah.